Hey everyone! If you have been using Claude Code, you probably wondered, is there a thinking mode? And the answer is yes, but it's not what you expect. In this video, I'll walk you through how to enable extended thinking in Claude Code and also show you how to use it to get better results. First, some quick context. So when Anthropic released Claude 3.7 Sonnet, they also introduced a feature called extended thinking, which boosts the model's reasoning capabilities for more complex tasks. In the chat interface, it's really easy to turn on. You just toggle it on in the settings and you're done. However, in Claude Code, it's not so simple. There's no toggle, no config, or obvious parameter to set. However, if we look at Claude Code's documentation, there's a small but important section titled Encourage Deeper Thinking. Here, it states you can explicitly ask Claude to think more deeply, meaning all you have to do is include the word think in your prompt and that will trigger extended thinking in Claude Code. What's more, Claude Code actually has different levels of thinking that you can trigger. Think uses around 4,000 thinking tokens, Think Harder uses around 10,000 thinking tokens, and Think Harder or Longer or Ultra Think uses 32,000 thinking tokens. If you are curious where these thinking levels come from, here's a look at Claude Code's own source. This screenshot is from the CLI.js file in the Claude Codes package on npm, and it spells out exactly how different prompts trigger different thinking token levels. You can check it out yourself here. And that's really all there is to it. There's no settings or terminal flag to mess with. Just including the word think in your prompt and Claude Code will reason more deeply. So let me show you an example. This first example is going to be the standard mode with no extended thinking. Okay, so now I'm in Claude Code. And I am in this project called Prompt Studio, which is just something I'm working on. So this is the prompt that I'm telling Claude Code. So I'm telling Claude Code that I want a implementation plan for adding a light dark toggle feature for this application. We can see that Claude is reading through a bunch of files to understand what the code base is doing. It's also searching for specific patterns. So it's reading and searching a bunch of stuff. And then at the end, once it has read and once it has understand what the code base is doing, here is where it outputs the implementation plan. So now I'm going to log out, and just for reference, this is a brand new login session and it's a brand new window where I've cleared out all context and stuff. So this window here is only this one prompt. So when I log out, I should see some metrics. So let me just log out. And these are the metrics that I see. Now remember, these metrics are only for that one request because for this logged in session, I have only ran that one request. So we see that the total cost was about 44 cents and the duration for how long Claude Code was working was about 1 minute and 40 seconds. And now let's take a look at the token usage. So we can see for Claude 3.5 Haiku, it used about 3.k input tokens, 85 output tokens. And for Claude 3.7 Sonnet, we can see that it used about 4,800 output tokens. Okay, so now let's take a look at an example where we use extended thinking. Okay, so this is a new window. So I am in a new login session and I've cleared out all the context from before and everything. Okay, so this is the prompt that now I am telling Claude. I'm telling it to think ultra hard on creating this implementation plan for adding this light dark feature. And I tell it to ensure to think ultra hard and thorough. So it's okay if you take a long time. So how do we know that it's actually using extended thinking? Well, if you look at this line right here, this asterisk thinking, this here is your confirmation that Claude Code is now using extended thinking for your request. And this is something that Anthropic tells you. It just tells you that you have an indication, and this is that indication. So now that we know that this request is using thinking mode, and if we look further down, this is Claude's thinking process. So we can see that it's trying to read a bunch of files to understand what's going on in this code base. It's doing some searching for specific functions or specific variables. And once it reads all the files and understands what your code base is doing, it kind of creates this plan, and this is the plan that it creates. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to log out and see some of the metrics again. So if I just log out of here, so now that I've logged out, these are the metrics that I see. Now remember, that window that I was running Claude Code on was only for that one request. So everything you see here is related to that one prompt only, so nothing else. So we can see that request cost us 69 cents, and we can see that the total duration that it took Claude to run this request was 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Now let's take a look at the token usage. Now as a quick reminder, all thinking tokens gets calculated as part of its output token. So for this request, we can see that it used 6,200 output tokens for Claude 3.7 Sonnet, and this model is the only one that currently supports extended thinking. So between the two requests, with extended thinking enabled, we see a few key differences. The total cost was higher by about 25 cents. The processing time was longer, 2 minutes 18 seconds versus 1 minute and 40 seconds. And the output token usage increased, 6,200 tokens compared to 4,800. Because Anthropic counts thinking tokens as part of output tokens, enabling extended thinking increases the output token count and increases processing time, which naturally leads to a higher cost. So everything aligns with what we expect. As for why Anthropic went with this kind of prompt-based trigger instead of a simple settings parameter, well, your guess is as good as mine. Okay, so now that we know how to enable extended thinking, let's talk about how to use it effectively. Tip number 1. Start with general instructions, then refine as needed. Anthropic's own research shows that Claude performs better when you give it high-level guidance upfront, instead of locking it into a step-by-step instructions right away. In other words, your first prompt should look something like this. Think hard about how to solve problem XYZ. It should not look like, follow these exact steps to solve problem XYZ. Let Claude take the first pass. Then, based on its output and reasoning, you can refine your prompt. You can add constraints, guide it towards a certain approach, or introduce step-by-step instructions to fine-tune the result to your liking. The reason this works is simple. When thinking mode is enabled, these models are designed for deep thinking. Give them space to think freely, and they will often surprise you with more innovative and effective solutions than if you were to micromanage them from the start. Tip number 2. Use examples to guide Claude's thinking process. Just as examples are powerful learning tools for people, they are equally effective for large language models like Claude. When you give Claude examples of how to reason through a problem, it tends to mimic the same structure and the same style when solving your actual task. And for those interested, this is a well-known technique in machine learning called few-shot learning. So here's how it looks in practice. So here's a prompt that I might use when I'm trying to figure out how to refactor a complex file. I'm going to show you how to think through refactoring a file. Then I want you to solve a similar one. Example 1, refactoring renderer.js file. Thinking process. Step 1, identify redundant code and repeated patterns in the file. Step 2, extracting reusable logic into helper functions or modules. Step 3, simplify complex expressions and improve readability. Step 4, ensure functionality remains unchanged by testing. Now, using a similar thinking process, think hard on how to refactor file ABC. This approach works because you're giving Claude a thinking template, a pattern to follow. That structure helps produce more consistent and logical responses. And for particularly complex problems, giving 2 or 3 examples with slightly different reasoning styles can help Claude generate more comprehensive solutions. So here's a simple, flexible framework I recommend for using extended thinking on complex tasks. And just so you know, this approach is directly based on guidance from Anthropic themselves. First, start broad. Begin with general guidance. Let Claude explore the problem freely. You'll often get surprising, thoughtful solutions that go beyond what you might have prescribed yourself. Then refine. Once you see its first approach, go back and add details. This is where you bring in step-by-step instructions, constraints, or preferences to fine-tune the result. Then, if needed, add examples. If Claude's reasoning still isn't where you want it, give it examples of how you want it to think. And just to be clear, there's no right or wrong answer to do this. Working with LLMs is often subjective. So think of this framework as a starting point. Try it, tweak it, and make it your own based on what gets you the best results. So if extended thinking is powerful, should you use it for every request? Well, not exactly. For one, it's more expensive in terms of tokens and you'll hit your usage limits faster. But beyond that, it's not always necessary. Sometimes standard mode works just fine, and even better for certain tasks. So when should you use extended thinking and when should you skip it? Here's a quick breakdown. You want to use extended thinking for things like complex algorithm design, debugging hard-to-trace issues, architectural planning, code optimizations, major refactoring. So these are the type of tasks that benefit from thoughtful analysis, deeper reasoning, and the ability to evaluate multiple options. You want to use standard mode for things like simple implementation work, code generation based on a well-defined implementation plan, writing documentation and comments, fixing minor syntax and formatting errors. So for these kind of mechanical and straightforward tasks, using extended thinking can actually backfire. Claude may overanalyze the problem and end up generating solutions that are either unnecessarily complex or just plain wrong. So here's a general rule of thumb. If the task involves non-trivial reasoning or multi-step decision making, go with extended thinking. If it's routine or well-defined, standard mode will be faster, cheaper, and more accurate. Now, there's still one open-ended question that I have, and it's whether extended thinking in Claude Code is as effective as the one in Claude's chat interface. A lot of people, myself included, have noticed that extended thinking works more effectively in Claude's chat interface than in Claude Code, even when using the exact same prompt. And I do have some theories on why this is, and I'll save it for another video because I think it's an interesting topic worth exploring. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.